you met Usher originally as his stylist during the tour,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So how did the relationship ultimately form, from that original thing to...
I feel like when you spend a lot of time, like a tour, not even a tour, I styled his, I think my first job was You Got It Bad. So I think I did You Got It Bad, then I did You Don't Have to Call, and then I did his tour, and I just a lot of photo shoots, a lot of press. You spend a lot of time, and you spend a lot of time talking. We bumped heads for a long time, though. So people who think that we started working together and it was just, no, I couldn't stand. I was like, ugh, here comes the czar.
Like bumped heads how?
Well, because he would say, I need more options. I need you to be creative and come up with, he always wanted just some next. Everybody wants next anyway when you're styling. They want the next thing. I want you to get egg crate and make pants and then diamond dip the egg crate so it's soundproof when I dance, then put elastic. You're like, fuck. You have to come up with stuff that just doesn't make sense. But you have to appease the artist, so you have to come with these options that make no sense to you, the designer or the artist. It's just crazy. So anyway, we bumped heads because he always wanted the next thing. And I used to be like, less is more. This is my motto, make women want you and make men want to be you.
Right.
That should always be your goal.
Sure.
Make the women want you and make men want to be you. So it's very simple. It's a very simple concept, which means that styling for it should be very simple. Mm-hmm. But then you have a lot of different hands in the pot and ears, publicists and managers and record label and opinions and homeboys, and they can go overboard because what you're trying to do is reinvent yourself at every moment. So when you see someone with an odd haircut or a new piercing or a crazy color in their hair, that's just insecurity setting in at home, and they're like, damn, that other song, but really you're mad because that other song was hotter, or you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They're trying to fix it within themselves, and it's usually not even that's causing the problem.
At what point did you start, actually getting closer together?
Probably about 2006.
Okay.
I'd say 2006, yeah.
Okay. What really led to that?
Just, he had broken up with his girlfriend. I was definitely on the outs with my, husband. And we just started just getting closer, talking about why do men do this? Well, why do girls do that? Well, why do you, so we were talking as friends. And I went through the whole, seeing him date this person and that model and this one and that. And I used to be like, I don't know about that one, And I had my opinions. And then he said, well, why don't you date such and such? And I'm like, eh. So we kind of we were breaking up at the same time.
Sure.
So I think we just kind of were there for each other at the right time.
I mean, it seemed like the media kind of painted it as you're still married and now you're with Usher.
I was married, though. I was still legally married,
Yeah.
but I was moved out, separated, and everything.
But you know what I mean, though. It was painted as...
Come on, you got to sell books.
Yeah.
You got to sell books. You've got to sell videos. You've got to get more hits. Mm-hmm. You've got to get on air and have more to talk about instead of it being organic and simple as, God, we're friends, we hung out a lot, and we ate a lot of food, and we sat in a lot of malls, and we like each other.
But by that time, you already moved out of your husband.
I moved out. I had my own house.
Yeah. Okay. And I think that's an important thing to actually point out, because I think a lot of times people forget that part.
They do.
Yeah.
All the time.
So at what point did you guys decide to get married?
We were dating, and going through, once we started dating heavily, we traveled a lot. We, kind of went to like crazy places like Aspen and fun places. And then eventually, I think we, I don't know, I just think we got attracted to each other, and he proposed. He surprised me in the studio one day.
Really?
Yep.
You had no idea?
He had no idea. He didn't have a ring. He had a piece of string.
Really?
He was in the booth, and he tied a piece of string. I was like, and I had a string for a month. I was walking around like, okay, can't wash dishes, can't dye my hair, can't lose this string. Is it over if I lose the string? No, but I had a string for a month. And he was in the studio with Robin Thicke.
Ah.
Yeah, and he came up with the idea, and I guess he told Robin, and Robin started singing, and I'm looking like, what's going on? Everybody's in the room. And he proposed. I'm standing there like, oh my God. And he's like, I don't have a ring, but
So he got on one knee and all that?
one knee, the whole kit and
whole
caboodle,
shebang.
bang.
I mean, because
Surprised me.
you had just, gotten out of a marriage. Well, I
Yes.
mean, I guess, were you still in, technically, were you still
I was out of the marriage.
You're out, I mean, you were separated, but were you technically divorced
I
at
was
that time?
divorced. Well, no, the divorce was final the month later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But you were about to get divorced and so on.
I was definitely out of the relationship.
Right.
I was definitely not living with the man.
Yeah.
Definitely not hardly speaking to the guy much.
I mean, were you trying to jump back into another marriage after getting out of, because sometimes people like to take a break, a few years,
And that's really wise, actually. It's not to jump from one thing to the next.
Yeah.
I will say, but I wasn't trying to, but I was proposed to by somebody I loved very much.
Mm-hmm.
So it happened.
How did it work out after you guys got married? Did it change the relationship?
For sure.
How so?
I mean, at the end of the day, in the beginning of the next, the pressures that come into fold once you get married are just threefold. You start questioning yourself and your self-image and your posture, and are you smiling right? Are you looking right? Are you? You start just being, you start over kind of micromanaging yourself, and you start overthinking the simplest things. I did. I'm not saying him. Mm-hmm. I know that I got super paranoid about everything because the fans were so
judgmental.
The fans were crucial. I was like, damn.
This is your first time really, being behind the scenes. You never really got to experience that.
Behind the scenes, yeah, I wasn't under the microscope.
No.
I wasn't in that proverbial fishbowl.
Yeah.
I
Suddenly, every Usher fan has an opinion.
I was the ugliest thing. Well, first of all, I was a man for a long time. I was like, I don't understand how I'm carrying this baby. Like, can you just, shit's getting weird. If I am a man, that's cool. Let me do the man shit. But why is there a baby in my stomach? I don't know.
Okay.
So I was pregnant and I was a man. I was a welfare frauder. I stole from the government, apparently.
Okay.
What else did I do? My mom didn't have teeth, which I never noticed. And what else did I do? I don't know. I was a lot of shit. I was just an ugly moose thing. So it was really bad. Like, they said everything. I mean, I'm just thinking of all the things they said. I can't remember it all. But they were pretty hard on me. And I didn't realize that these are thumb thugs. They're thumb
Keyboard
thugs.
gangster.
They be behind a computer in like the deepest part of Nebraska, somewhere in Snowden with a bear roommate, and they're typing shit, waiting on a hot pocket, like, and you're ugly, and they're missing a tooth. It's just stupid. The people that talk shit online are bullies, and they're thumb thugs, because in your face, they're like, oh my God, can I get a picture?
Right.
Will you sign this for me? Can I eat half your sandwich? Like, they're lame. You know what I'm saying? In person, they're that. But online, they hard as nails. And I literally was affected because I would read all the stuff like, oh my God. Like, everything I did, they would comment, and they didn't realize I was pregnant half the time. So I was always like a house, like with a big moo-moo on, Then his mom would be there, so I'd be trying to cover up my cleavage and trying to do this. And I was trying to acquiesce to so many different rules and fit into so many people's happy spaces, I guess, except my own.
How long, would you get pregnant before or after you guys got married?
I got pregnant before we got married, but after we got engaged.
Okay, you got pregnant after you got engaged.
Yeah, so he proposed January.
Uh-huh.
I got pregnant in March.
Okay. Were you guys planning on having a baby, or this is one of these things that just sort of happened?
We just weren't planning not to have a baby, I should say.
Okay, there you go.
We weren't trying, but
and this was Usher's first.
Yes.
So I assume he was super excited.
We were excited. It was just exciting. It was an exciting time. He was happy. He was very doting, catering. It was awesome.
Okay. So what happened, after the baby came?
He was awesome. He was a great father, attentive, the whole thing. Changed diapers.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yep.
Was it difficult? Because you were married to someone in the music industry, but once again, this is someone behind the scenes. Suddenly, you're married to one of the, biggest celebrities in the world.
Right.
What type of, how different was that in terms of the dynamics? The relationship dynamics, what happens behind closed doors?
Just a bit. It was different. It was definitely different. It was it was okay though. I mean, it wasn't that much different. A husband is a husband. The expectations are the same.
Did he sort of scale back in terms of his workload and stuff like that?
No.
No, he still kept going hard. Okay. What ultimately led to the breakup?
I don't know.
No idea. You guys broke up.
We broke up because we're not married. Like, that's what happened.
Where are you guys right now? In terms of co-parenting and everything else like that?
We're doing well with co-parenting. We are trying to work it out. I mean, we have differences in opinion as humans do, but we both love our sons very much, and we're working it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, every day is a process.